Thank you so much for joining in meditation, friends. Let's begin a chapter, a session with chapter, and this is a new chapter, Sleep, Dreams, and Consciousness. So in this chapter, we will know about our sleep, sleeping patterns, and ideal sleep, about dreams and consciousness, and the connection between sleep, dream, and consciousness. Okay, so we'll begin with, and today, friends, it's whatever we are about to discuss. So it's completely it's message from Seth Master, and these are not, and these points are not from the book. And today's session is completely like his message for us. And before starting to when he started to share this message, he said that he want to help people who are suffering from insomnia, like disturbed sleep or sleepless nights, and who are getting disturbed with multiple thoughts during sleep. So this is what he said, and he want to clear all these what we say, all these challenges or problems of sleep through this wisdom. So yeah, first let's read out a couple of paragraphs from the book. Okay, so he said, persons vary in the amount of sleep they need, and no pill will ever allow them to dispense with sleep entirely, for too much work is done in that state. However, this could be done far more effectively with 2 rather than 1 sleep periods of lesser duration. So here he meant that longer hours of sleep is not recommended. So continuation, 2 periods of sleep, two periods of 3 hours apiece would be quite sufficient for most people if the proper suggestions were given before sleep, suggestions that would ensure the body's complete recuperation. In many cases, 10 hours sleep, for example, is actually disadvantageous, resulting in a sluggishness both of mind and body. In this case, the spirit has simply been away from the body for too long a time, resulting in a loss of muscular flexibility. So here he says to divide our sleep for 2 to 3 hours, like 2 naps or 3 naps. And next he suggests that longer hours, the more than people who sleep for more than 8 hours, and this is disadvantageous for the people who are sleeping for longer hours, and he won't recommend that longer duration of sleep. Why? Because in that longer duration, so what happens, the self, the consciousness of us, it's completely away for longer hours. It's completely it's not connected to the body. And in the spirit, he says, the spirit, that means our soul, or the consciousness, we can say, the spirit has been simply away from the body for too long a time, resulting in a loss of muscular flexibility. So, and next he says that ideally, sleeping 5 hours at a time, you gain the maximum benefit. So sleeping for 5 hours, we gain the maximum benefit, and anything else over this time is not nearly as helpful. So it's a myth, and he wants to clear he said he wants to clear some myths regarding sleep, rest of the physical body, what we are giving now. And he always says that in the so he says 5 hours of sleep is sufficient. And when we go further, he said that 4 hours of sleep, 4 hours of ideal sleep is more like efficient. So when we are taking rest, so we think like longer hours give us more comfort, and whenever we woke up from, whenever we get up, we'll get like our body is energized, and we'll feel like we'll be in a comfort zone if we sleep for longer hours. But he say this is not recommended, this is disadvantages. And coming to um, the causes of insomnia. So this is idle sleep. So idle sleep is for 5 to 6 hours or 4 to 5 hours, and he suggests for naps, multiple, like 2 to 3 naps in a day. He want to schedule us. He want to schedule. I mean, he want to. He's advising us to follow a naps rather than a longer hours of sleep. And we will get know further so why he recommended such naps. So now coming to our session, coming to the message. So what are the causes of insomnia? The first one is overactive cells. Okay, and next is we will discuss each and every point, friends. Overactive cells, and next is excessive food intake. The point is excessive food intake is also it gives us disturbed sleep. And next is lacking activity throughout the day. And next is an imbalance of energy, fears. And next one is repetitive thoughts, lack of adequate water intake. So these are a few causes. It's not like only these are the causes for insomnia, but there are multiple causes. But mostly he took few points. The first one is overactive cells. So it's a beautiful experience. It's the Seth master explained with like he gave a demo in my body. So when I started to read, I didn't read even 2 complete pages, friends. So when I started to read couple of pages, couple of paragraphs, so I felt like to sit in meditation. So then he explained about taking me into my body. So I could see my nervous system, I could see my veins, arteries, so all the nervous system related to the lungs, heart, and slowly I could see my heart. It's like pumping, it's reddish in color, and I could see the the nerves, how they are carrying a blood, and some are red, some are very red in color, and some are like pink color. So it's like we know like how we see the picture outside. And slowly even deep down, like I felt like I traveled, and next and later I saw cells in my body, cells. So there are like they are a bit round, and they are breathing. So I was pretty much surprised. So I saw them. So cells in our body, they breathe, they vibrate, and they are vibrating, aligning to our heartbeat, to our let me say, like to our pulse rate. And when these cells, when they become overactive, okay, when they become overactive, they work at multiple levels, say like multiple chambers in our brain, and they produce certain chemicals. And these chemicals, so they release certain chemicals, and these chemicals in the form of thoughts, okay, multiple thoughts. And this causes discomfort to the person who is facing insomnia. So here the most important one, friends, and that particular person is not aware of all these thoughts. That's what Seth master says. He can't pick one thought. He feels discomfort, he simply feels discomfort, or he simply feels that he is unable to go to the deep state of sleep because of these multiple thoughts. He only feels something like some discomfort, something disturbing him, disturbing that person, but he is not aware of the thoughts, and he is not aware what's going on in his body, in mind as well. And so he feels this discomfort. This is what happening, friends. So mostly these overactive cells. So why these cells are overactive, right? So so because of these following reasons: maybe the excess food intake. So obviously we all know, so whatever the sufficient amount of food we need to take, what are the nutrients, so so our body needs so different quantities, like it differs from person to person, right? So we have to take so food which has much energy and related, and which is close to the nature, right? So, and this is excessive intake of food. So when the person takes these, so the cells become overactive, so because it needs to digest that food, excess food. And next coming, lacking activity throughout the day. So physical activity, so each and every person, so we need certain physical activity. So, and next is an imbalance of energy, and it can be described, where energy levels such as where energy levels such as physical, emotional, or even metabolic energy are not properly balanced. See, like each and every point is interconnected, interrelated, and these because of these overactive cells, this person gets multiple thoughts. And why these overactive cells? Because of maybe one of the reason is having excessive food intake and lacking the activity throughout the day, no physical activity. And next is because of these activity levels, or no lacking activity levels, imbalance will be an imbalance of energy will be there. So imbalance of energy in physical, emotional, or even metabolic energy, it's not properly balanced. And next coming is about fears. About fears, we all know, like these fears, they we so they are like from the childhood, or they may be developed at certain age, or related to the future, or some past thoughts. So it's like mixed. So we know about fears, right? So we need to work on each and every, like we generally, what in my experience, so what I think is fears, or they alert us. So generally, mostly I heard people saying we have to work out on fears. Yes, it's we have to work on fears, but it's not sufficient. So these fears will lead to one root cause. If a person is having fear of death, so that fear takes multiple thoughts, that creates multiple fears in that person related to death. And and maybe he's not aware that he is having fear of death, but most of the fears, they are related to a death, to a life, to insecurity, right? So holding that, so the fear we have to work, but when we clear the root cause, then we need not work much on fears. So work on the root cause always. And next coming is repetitive thoughts. And here, interesting thing what Seth Master, he said, no, these repetitive thoughts could from the multiple thoughts. So one of the repetitive thoughts. So it means what? A thought completely, it is repeating for multiple times. When a single thought, the same thought repeating for multiple times, that's what repetitive thought mean. And he said, from these repetitive thoughts may be one of the thought of multiple thoughts. So we'll have multiple thoughts, right? So from that multiple thoughts, from that group thoughts, one may be repetitive thought, and this repetitive thought may connect to the fear as well. So these are all interconnected. And also, these repetitive thought will leads to multiple thoughts again, isn't it? interesting. So I felt like interesting. So again, these multiple thoughts, and these multiple thoughts, again that person picks one thought from the multiple thoughts, and this one thought will lead to again the multiple thoughts, like, many to one, and this one leads to many. It's right. So next is lack of adequate water intake and dehydration. Dehydration can cause discomfort in falling asleep. So hydration influences the production of hormones and neurotransmitters such as serotonin and and melatonin, so which play key roles in sleep. So these two hormones, they play very key role, so very important role in sleep. And water always balances, friends. Water always balances our energy. So that is why we recommend to drink water after meditation. So water always balances our energies, and we are 70%, our body consists of 70% of water, right? And this water regulates body temperature. It plays a important role, vital role in maintaining overall brain health, so which can contribute a relaxed state of mind. So this is what even it supplies oxygen also. Every time, like, we need to have sufficient, again water intake is not recommended this not like stated these many liters, like every person. There is no rule, friends. So you have to connect with your body, know your body, and your body will message you. Definitely your body will indicate you how much liters or how much the quantity you need to drink. So, and it differs from person to person. It's not like every person need to have like 3 to 4 liters per day. Even like taking water intake, if we take much, also it will affect our body. So this is what he said. So always hydrate your body. And next is, and so these are the causes for some few causes of insomnia. And next come is how to deal with this. So people who are facing this, so he recommended uh, remedies. Like first one is meditation. So we know by regular practice of meditation, many people, millions and millions of people has transformed their lives from medication to meditation, from medicines. So they recovered, they healed their body, like many experiences, like millions and millions of experience we can hear. So how meditation has no through practicing meditation, how they transform their life beautifully, and they healed their body. And we should not heal others, friends. We should not heal others. So everyone, they have their ability to heal their body, to heal themselves. So just we need to introduce meditation to them, and they will definitely like like meditation helps in innumerable ways, multiple ways, right? So practicing meditation, so what happens if we practice meditation? We know the basic thing is we can calm down the thoughts. The first energy gets balanced in our body, right? And unwanted thoughts, and these unwanted thoughts, they will get filtered. And right, like many advantages, we know that. And coming to physical activity, so he says next is first one is meditation, and next is physical activity. So practice any physical activity of your choice. So this is not only recommended to the people who are suffering from insomnia, but also to everyone, but it's good for all. So so anything that your choice, so practice any physical activity of your choice. Okay, so daily we need to have certain physical activity, and it's up to us. And next is break the pattern. He said, so break the pattern. It's very, very important point, friends. Break the pattern, because further when we go into the chapter, he'll explain why it is very important to break the pattern. And coming to breaking the pattern, so I'll share my experience. Okay, so first I tried. I try to go into myself to break certain patterns. I got to know certain patterns are going within myself, but I started. So first, I tried to break the pattern in my daily activity, the physical activity, not directly going to myself. And this is my experience. You can go in your own way. You can find your own way. You can find your way. But what I tried is, it made me easy. So first, I tried to break the daily activities, the daily routine, and it helped me to know my patterns even better. So many of us have different patterns, right? Different patterns. So in my experience, like a group, or it could be a family members, if they have certain patterns, so if they have like certain patterns, at some point all these patterns meet, forming a loop. Okay, like for example, I have my own pattern. The other family members, they will have their own pattern, if they have. Okay, most of the people, so many of us, we have certain patterns. We need to know. And here what is happening is, so these different people, they may be having different patterns. It's not necessarily like to have the same pattern, the same behavior. Okay, the patterns may be different, but these patterns, they meet at one point, like forming a loop, a circle. Okay, a circle. And what's happening is, and these loops, whatever I have observed, a loop, it is created, but it is created, and it repeats at different intervals. This is why, we experience, or certain patterns go in certain, in few families. So every time could be family members, or if you are working with the group, after every certain interval, the same pattern goes on and on and on. So why this is happening? Reasons may be different. At the physical level, at the surface level, we see the reasons may be different, friends, but go underneath. So behind that, when we cross that layer, I could see like, okay, this is the same pattern, the same thing, but it looks differently. So what I tried is, so when this pattern is repeating for different intervals, like some period of time. So when I got to know, I try to break pattern, or my self pattern. So I got to know my own, and when I break that pattern, and automatically the loop which got created or dissolved. It got dissolved automatically, because we can't say to other person, so we have to do this. So you know first of all, we have to practice. So automatically, most of the things, so most maybe I could say like 80%, so more than 80%, we need not no we need not suggest, or we need not advise others. So before that, when we practice, when we transform, automatically the energies will be the energies, the other people, they can help themselves to come out from certain patterns, right? So when I tried, so this is what I observed, and whatever the loop has created, it got dissolved, and I started to know even better of myself. So these physical, the daily activity which I break that pattern, and from the pattern which is coming from the childhood, like an example, like I'm not much friendly to switch on videos at the initial stage, at the initial of my meditation journey. And also at the school, I could stage fear or everything. So I want to break that pattern. So in one of the session, it's compulsory to switch on video. So that's how I know I am in fear, so these certain fears, but I want to break that pattern. So if we give energies to how to, so the solution, then automatically the problem will dissolve. We will overcome fears easily. These are all mind created fears, right? So certain complexes, from a certain complex. So this is how, friends, this is how no I try to break that loop. And breaking the pattern is very important, because Seth master, he says we are not robots, right? So in certain applications, or when we try to, fill in certain like online applications, or when we try to enter into certain websites, they will ask, are you a robot? If you are not robot, say we have to do something like we have to pick up some pictures, like, are you a robot? So we are not robot, right? We say I'm not robot. Then why we are behaving like a robot? So always programmed, everything is programmed. So we always, it's like we think like it's a discipline. Yes, we need to follow timetable, but this timetable will bring a certain discipline in our life. So when we are in that discipline, so when we learn to be disciplined, then we have to go to the creative self, to the creatorhood. We have to create. So to create, so creation always happens from from the joy, and also when we break the pattern, we can create in a much better way. So like if any person, and one thing I got to know in breaking the pattern is, if any person tries to break the pattern, though it could be a group or a family, no, it will help others. So if one person break the pattern, it will help others to come out easily from that loop. They will come out, because there is no energy, we are not giving energy. So automatically the loop, so what is created, the energy, the rest of the energy will dissolve. Automatically it will dissolve. So we need to know about much better about ourselves. And try experiment in your own way, friends. So I tried like this. So these are the points, friends. So these points are interconnected to the wisdom. So these are not from the book, but these points are connected to the whatever the material we got in the book. These are connected. So connection. So we will discuss in the next session about connection between consciousness, about dreams, and how this breaking our pattern will enhance our ability, our psychic abilities and all. We will get to know in the next session. So yeah, these are thank you for today then, friends. If at all you want to share anything or add anything, you can unmute yourself. Okay. Yeah, Ram sir.
Very wonderful. Although short, it was such a energetic meditation, Sharada Garu, and interesting wisdom sharing. Generally, we were until now speaking about the soul, pretty spiritual aspect of it, and energy aspect of it, and we now connected a bit to a very common topic, sleep. It's pretty interesting to see the very first statements, which is we don't need to have a 8 hour, 10 hour sleep, and it is counter healthy, counter helpful. It's not helpful. Very interesting insight, which means a 5 hour sleep or 2 into 3 hour sleep or short sleeps is good enough for the body. And the rest of the wisdom or information about insomnia, or rather, it is not about only insomnia. Many of us might might be feeling to sleep longer, then we have to as well connect it to these topics. If we are, if we have something to change, which means if the body is seeking, or if our mind is seeking, or if anything is seeking us to sleep more, one of these is still not perfectly in tune. So we can look into it, because we can get healthier by sleeping 5 hours, by sleeping 2 into 3 hours. So there are a lot of understandings, misunderstandings when we listen to these, that all those understandings were misunderstandings. So we come to a right understanding. And very beautifully you said, are we robots? Indeed, Joe Dispenza says 95% of the way we live every day is the same. We almost wake up at the same time. We almost get down from the bed from the same side in the same way. We brush our teeth in the same way. We do repetitively even our work, how we behave, whom we meet. Everything is the same. So 95% of our day is the same, yet we expect something new, something different from life. How is it possible? So indeed we are living, we should not be robots, but we have made ourselves robots. So going back with a proper understanding of this, and when we change our physical way of living consciously, then we as well change a lot deep inside. So wonderful wisdom. So thanks a lot, Sharda Garu. A lot to reflect upon. And yeah, thanks again.
Thank you so much, sir. Anyone would like to share, friends? Right. So no sharings, then let's all experiment then our sleeping hours. And no feel, mostly I felt like whatever the Seth master is saying about conscious sleep, maybe like we'll get to know next further sessions about conscious sleep. So when we meditate and sleep, yeah, it will definitely, it will whatever the efficiency or whatever he is saying advantage, definitely we will so we will take that advantage of sleep. So thank you so much, friends. Then so shall we end the session, sir? Thank you for the messages.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Sharda ji.
Ji.
I'm Jignasa.
Oh, hi, Jignasa ji.
How are you?
Great, thank you.
I had a question. When you started the session, you mentioned that before we sleep, we can train ourselves to sleep better, or say something before we go to sleep. So that part, could you explain a little bit better? So we sleep better, we sleep less, and which could benefit us. So what was in that part that's complementing to what you just said?
So I read it from the book, Jignasa ji. So while reading, even I thought, so what we need to give instruct into our mind, so what we need to tell to ourselves. So I connected to meditation. So maybe, and yeah, it's like meditation. So when we meditate, we are preparing our body to calm down. We are preparing our mind to calm. So it's like, whatever the day, whatever the whole day rush, and whatever the tiredness we got physically and mentally, we need to balance. And we need to talk to ourselves. He says, talk to yourself. So what we need to talk to ourselves? right? So we need to calm down. It's okay. Like saying to ourselves, like, it's okay. So whatever has happened, so has happened. So like talking to ourselves, it benefits us to relax our mind, to get this to get rid of these unwanted thoughts. And what I connected is like to meditate. So when we meditate and sleep, definitely it will make a great difference. And next session, in coming sessions, Jignasaji, I'll definitely share my experiences and experiments that, if I meditate and when I go to sleep, the dreams are different from directly going to the sleep. So when I directly go to the sleep without meditation, the dreams are different. And when I meditate, these dreams are different. And like it makes sense. So when I meditate and sleep, the dreams make sense. It gives me certain messages, the intuition, or whatever I needed, it will be given in dreams, suggestions. And when I won't meditate, so whatever all everything I collected throughout the day, and these mind, it creates certain pictures. It creates certain, like movies. It creates certain pictures in our mind in the form of dreams. So that's Jignasaji. So that's what I can say.
Thank you. I get what you mean. Then the other question was repetitive patterns that you said. So I do understand what you say, because sometimes there are things being repeated the same thing. It might not be in the same way, but when it happens, when it's already happened, there is the same emotions that come in you, the same kind of actions that you do. Because you think that I've done this in the past, I know the outcome, this is what happens, and it's come again, and it comes again and again. And that time you want to take a decision that, no, I'm going to do this to break the pattern. Yeah. But at that same point of time, you think, is this the right thing to do? To break the pattern, what is the right decision? What action is the right decision to break the pattern? How to know that this step, if I do, or this action I do, or this I don't do, will break the pattern. That decision making, every time I have tried, it just backfires. It has not worked for me. It just repeats the pattern, and I'm just back to square one, basically. Because the decision I might have taken is not the right one. So how to know the decision is correct, that's been taken? Is there a way to find out?
Yeah. So first of all, what I got from your sharing is, Jignasaji, there is no right or wrong decisions. As far as my knowledge, there is no right or wrong decisions. Whatever we take at certain point, it is giving you certain experience, right? Yeah. Maybe that experience is needed, and this experience will lead to open certain other doors of ourself. So yeah, these experiences is not like backfire, or it's not like something they are telling. So what is it? So I think we have to go beyond the surface layer. So that's what I shared. So go beyond your surface layer. We have to calm down ourselves. So when I try to, first of all, when I try to identify, when I try to know, I could see only that surface level. I was in a hurry to change. Okay. I was in a hurry. I was in a rush. So I want immediate result, instant result. I want to. So in that rush, we make many mistakes. We commit many mistakes. So anything to know about ourselves, anything to know, we have to calm down. So we need patience and sit calmly. So sit in meditation, try to go deep into yourself, and definitely it will work. So that's how I did, Jignasa ji.
Okay. Okay.
So first of
Okay.
all, we need patience, and nothing like right or wrong. So no one here no one is perfect. So whatever we decide, that's the right at that time. Okay. And don't think that it's always giving you the same experience. The same experience means we need to change certain frequency in us. It's all about energy and frequency again, because these thoughts are generated through energy. Our words are energy, and everything is related to energy. So we need to bring certain shift in our energy, at our energy level. So for that, we need to calm down ourselves, take time. It's okay. So certain experiences, instead of taking action, so I did what I did is, instead of taking certain actions, I kept quiet. I was in an observer state. So when I was in observer state, automatically it got dissolved. So mostly we think that I have to respond, I have to take certain action. So few things we need not take certain actions. So few things is automatically dissolved on basing on the time, or when we keep silent. So when we be in an observer state, it will dissolve. So we need to know not the particular action, whatever the decision. We need to know either I need to keep silent or whatever. So either I need to respond. So respond means how to respond. Emotions, again, responding in the sense, again, emotions. So I could say if anyone who is not like say behaving, or it's not aligned. So if I am not aligned, if I want to tell certain, so better I could be silent at that time, and maybe after a few minutes, or next day, I could say them, because they are vibrating in a anti. So and some anti energy is, we are getting some anti energy. Is better we keep quiet. So that we have to understand.
Okay, I get yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I will work on that and see. I hope it helps. Thank you.
Definitely
Thank you
you
for
will try.
today's.
Definitely it will help. Thank you so much, Jignasa ji.
Thank you.
Yeah, do experiments. Need to know experiments that. Thank you. Thank you for the messages. Thank you, Ram sir. Let's all meet the next session. Thank you all.